From high on the hilltop in Big D.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on a TCU head coach. My rule is to get me from the game.
SMU! The freaking Pony Express, man.
SMU, they better be in the dang playoffs.
You are listening to the Mustang Move Podcast. Yes.
Amen.
Yes, you are. I don't think we deserve that intro today.
No, we should have cut it.
We should have.
Yeah.
That one was too hype. The performance on the field was not that hype.
No.
I don't know, guys. I'm going to, again, still be the positive sounding board.
Let's
here.
start with the positive. Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
because Kevin Jennings played an awesome game. He did really well. And honestly, Brinson has separated himself as our number one receiver. I'll let this car go by.
Great timing.
Yeah, we're live on the Boulevard today. So
We are. But then in TJ Harden, 3 touchdowns. The dude was balling out over 100 yards. We have a clear RB1 that's picking up where Rashard left off. We've got a number one receiver that's really just breaking out. He's having 100-yard-plus games for 2 games in a row. And honestly, we played against, I think, a Heisman-level quarterback, a guy that's going to be a finalist in New York City at the end of the season. And Baylor's, frankly, got an incredibly explosive offense. So I think, as Coach Lashley said, we played better than them for three and a half quarters, and we just need to finish it out. And I think that, honestly, Coach Lashley is going to help solidify the team, and we'll pull it out next time.
Yeah. No one's higher on Sawyer Robertson right now than Yonnic. Yonnic is talking.
Well, before the game,
hype.
I said before the game that he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I felt vindicated again. The guy's averaging 400-plus yards a game.
Yeah. I mean, he had a great game. We'll give him that. It's tough. Especially with 8 minutes left in the game, being up 14, 38-24, and then not being able to execute. And
I think that's really just indicative of the fact that we have 50% turnover. We had 42 new players this year, and it's tough to get everyone to be mentally strong. We have so many new players. The average turnover in college football is like 30 to 35%. So we are well above that. It's tough because we had so many seniors and graduates last year.
And Baylor is well below that.
Oh, yeah. No, they had, I think, 15 or 17 returning out of their 22. So very solid. And good for them. They got a good win, but
yeah.
I feel good in the sense that I genuinely think we're the better team.
Yeah.
I think and I don't think Coach Lashley made it clear that he thought the same way, and so I feel good.
Yeah, it's tough. Anyway, just to highlight, Ponies lose today. What was the final score? 45-48 on a
45-48 Baylor.
Field goal in overtime by the Bears. Colin Roger missed 3 kicks today. One from 57.
Yeah, one from 57.
48. 40 something.
And then one
that
from
one
30 something.
Should have been made.
Yeah, that one should have been made.
Yep. Yeah.
Hard to hate on a 57-yarder. That's like a Hail Mary. You really just take the shot and you pray for the best.
Exactly. Yeah. No one's mad about that. Would have liked to have seen that targeting upheld. Made that an easier kick.
Yeah.
But who knows what would have happened then. Anyway, tough day to be a Pony. A lot of fun on the Boulevard. A lot of fun in the stadium today. It was a beautiful day for football in early September. Can't believe how nice of a day it is.
Oh, yeah.
But
used to being burned alive.
Yeah, definitely. Not the results the Ponies were looking for today. So let's get into it. Offense looked sharp.
Very sharp.
2 75-yard touchdown passes from KJ.
40-yard touchdown run from TJ.
Yep. And really, they seem to be firing on all cylinders a lot during the first half. A couple of hiccups, an interception, and then
red zone interception. That was tough.
And then the referees got in the way a little bit.
The referees did get a sack on KJ.
Literally.
That was good for team.
Kind of threw
stripes.
off the team a little bit.
It did kill that drive.
Yeah, and that's the one Colin missed his first field goal on.
That's kind of what I was saying as we were walking over here to set up, is that it took 3 missed field goals from a Studley kicker. It took the refs sacking KJ, a red zone. It took so many things to go their way. Lots of ill-timed penalties to help them and to hurt us on different drives. For them to barely win by 3 with a Heisman-level performance. I mean, that's pretty indicative.
I want to reiterate, I think this was great football. Like, that was so much fun to watch.
It was a ton of fun.
It was.
Until the last 10, 30 seconds.
That's what we love about college football, is that kind of game, that kind of rivalry. It's just hard to lose. Someone's got to lose, and it was us today. We had the opportunity to win it. Led for
Multiple.
the vast majority of the game. Were we ever down?
We were never down
we were
until
never
they
down
hit the field goal.
Yeah. And so
And won, yeah.
just a tough pill to swallow. A lot of comparisons to BYU last year. Ponies lost in week 3 last year to BYU in a really scrappy, tough Friday night game. A lot of comparisons, a lot of talk about that in the post-game press conference. I don't know. What do y'all think that's a fair comparison? Do you think
In an inverse way, because BYU was a slugfest of field goals, whereas this was a shootout of touchdowns. So I think instead of trying to fix our offensive mistakes, I think we fixed a lot of those. And this year we clearly have one of the most elite offenses in the country. You know, if we have a lot of things we need to clean up on defense.
Yeah.
If we can do that, then this will be the same as the BYU game. And in some ways, like the BYU, I think Baylor's going to have a successful season. And so we're going to look back on this and say, okay, yeah, that was a really rough loss. We should have won it. But, you know, maybe we can be better for it.
Yeah.
I think Coach is going to have us in a good spot. I mean, I was really encouraged by what he was saying in the presser. I think the team is going to bounce back. And, you know, you don't learn who you are until you hit adversity. That's what Coach and the players said.
Yeah.
I think it was Isaiah that said that. So.
Yeah. If the positivity is over, I can go ahead and start talking.
Our most moody member of the Mustang mood.
Let me. I think one thing I would say is different is we know who our quarterback is. We know.
Yes.
I think I would attribute I would attribute the loss to BYU last year to Coach for not.
I think he did too.
I think he took all the responsibility there. Is we didn't have a consistent leader of the team. This year, Preston Stone's gone. It's just KJ's team. And, so I think the thing to fix last year was a lot easier and a lot clearer. But this year, there's a lot. And I don't know if because we'll talk about this in a minute, is the defense really struggled. We're just not as talented this year on that side of the ball as we were in years past. And so we kind of have to be almost perfect. Anyway, so Ben, I'll hand it off to you now if you want to start with the negativity.
Yeah. I thought the defense was really not good today. I think they did. I think they held up okay at times.
Yeah, I would say they were inconsistent, but there were times where they
inconsistently
shined.
good and bad. Like it just
Made some good fourth down stops.
Yeah.
I just think in the fourth quarter, like you're up, 14 with 8 minutes left. You can't lose that game. And I mean, I think the two biggest plays to me the biggest play for me was the throw over the top that scored on when we were up 14. It wasn't a very good throw. The receiver made a good move, but Wacobia, one of our most senior players, he's got to do better on that throw. That should not happen. They scored so fast that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We were running the ball well, but it did feel like, to me, maybe I'm wrong, that we were trying to run the clock early at 5 minutes, and I thought even though we started to run the ball well, our success is in the pass game, and so I don't know. I mean, maybe Coach Lashley did say on 3rd and 4, maybe he should have run the ball there on that last drive before Baylor got the ball back and scored. But I was also disappointed. I think
averaged over 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So
I was really also that after they overturned the targeting, I didn't love the play call there either. I think we needed to at least 10 yards. I don't like running the ball there. I mean,
really didn't give Colin a good shot at making that.
Yeah, I still honestly it's still a kick I expect him to make from what we saw last season, but.
Wouldn't that have been his record though?
Yeah,
57.
I don't know if that's.
I think he hit a 56 or a 57 before.
The
so
one
it
in
would
the
have been
first
at least
half.
tying it.
The one in the first half he should have made. The one in overtime he definitely should have made. That 57-yarder is tough.
I mean, it is tough, but I mean, if you want to be, I think we paid him pretty well. If you want to be paid well, you can't miss 3 field goals in a game. That's really frustrating. So you can attribute the loss to him, but at the same time, it shouldn't have gone to overtime. We should have
a lot of things.
We should have won the game before that. I'm also not as high as on the offense nor the quarterback. I think he played well at times, but I think some similar problems to last year where he's floating back 10, 15 yards in the pocket, like, for example, on the one where he fumbled. That's a bad habit. It's continued. I think he played okay. I think the interception was a little bit unlucky. It was a bad throw. I think Hibner has to do better there, but I definitely feel better about the offense. I don't see a fix to this defense. I think The secondary is just not good enough. The corners are not very good. I don't think. The safeties, I think Ahmad Moses was really good. I think Wacobia was solid, but I think
Moses had a really good day.
at the end, like I said, that one play from Wacobia was a huge bust that we missed, and I just think the frustrating part for me is we had so many. I feel like they're like I can look at like 8 to 9 things that if they go right, we win this game, and I think we blew it. I think we beat ourselves, and that's the most frustrating thing to me is like if Baylor just goes out and is better than us, that's fine, but we beat ourselves. Yeah. I saw it similarly as BYU last year. I thought we beat ourselves, and there were so many opportunities we could have capitalized on and didn't, and so I don't know where you go from here. I mean, I think technically we still have everything to play for, but I did foolishly predict us to go 11-1. This is not a playoff team. This defense is not good enough to make the playoffs, so we'll see. I mean, you never know, but I don't feel very good after that.
I'm going to jump in now because I'm going to disagree almost across the board. Because, and this is the reason why I say that, is this is something Coach Lashley said in the presser afterwards. We didn't get any pressure on the quarterback in our one-on-one situations, and Coach didn't want to blitz because he knew that they had explosive plays, and so we put our guys, and they could beat us one-on-one.
And that our defensive back isn't very good.
And so we basically gave a Heisman-level quarterback 5 years to throw every ball. I mean, it was crazy how long he had. Offenses are meant to beat defenses, and it doesn't matter how good your corner is. They're trying to guess what the receiver's doing, and the receiver knows what he's doing. And so they're always at a disadvantage. They're always going to win if you give the quarterback enough time, and you have somebody like Robertson who can just, as Coach said, dink and dunk anytime he wants because he has a million seconds to throw. And so I don't think the cornerbacks were as bad because they were put in the worst possible situation any quarterback could ever be put in. And it was all throughout the game, they were put in the worst possible situation. And so I think if we improve our D-line, we start getting more pressure on the ball without having to bring guys, from in blitz packages, I think that our cornerbacks are going to have a better time keeping with their receivers. And so I think it's an easier fix than it seems, and it looks really bad.
You said it's easy, but it's tough.
Not easy. I said easier than it
so.
seems. I don't think this is an impossible thing to fix. I don't think it's impossible to fix it because we're talking if we improve the D-line a little bit, they start getting to the quarterback more. Now there's less time for the quarterbacks to have to guard a guy in just open coverage, and everybody's going to look better if we just get a little bit more pressure on the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I am really not as down as I still think Simons is a great defensive coach, and I think he's going to improve us across the board.
Yeah, and it really comes down to the defense. I think you're right. I think we just differ in how easy it is to fix that situation. I think I would be more on the side of it's going to be a very difficult situation to fix with kind of I don't know. Our expectations obviously are high of this team, and they've met those expectations for the last 2 years. It was a tough one today to fall short in that area. And I'll go back to what Ben is saying is, there's probably, 8 or 9 different plays, or, different little things that if it just had gone the slightest, like just a little bit the other way.
Instant win.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Specifically the field goals. But we talk about KJ's interception, driving down the field.
That red zone interception.
That's, probably at least 3 points there that, if not 7, that the
that was after the punt fumble, and so we were already in the red zone.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And
so
we just
guaranteed
gave it right
points,
back
basically.
to them.
Yeah. And I do think you make a fair point, Yonnic, about the defensive backs. I think, especially in the first half, I know the defense struggled, but when they were successful was when we brought pressure. And it was clear to anybody watching that the D-line was not going to get pressure just rushing 4. And so I would rather take the shot of beating us over the top, even though I'm not that high on our corners, than just, again, like Sawyer Robertson is good enough to where he's just going to dink and dunk like Coach said. And so I guess the surprise was that we let them do that. And then even when we didn't bring pressure, we got beat on a couple of long throws that I don't think we should have gotten beat on.
Yeah,
that's true.
And also, I think the referees were a little frustrating to me. I don't know. I just think there were some inconsistencies in overtime. But again, like we should have won the game before that, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't help, but we should have won without them.
Yeah.
So I do think
of all the variables that I think could have bounced our way, the refs are kind of low on that list for me.
Just because we had so many controllables.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I do think that I don't think Scott Simons is a bad coach. I think he's a great coach.
No,
but I do think that it didn't really seem like they tried to bring pressure very often, and maybe there are things I missed, but It felt like that's when something good happened, was when we brought pressure, and we just didn't really do that down the stretch. And I think we just made things way too easy on them. I mean, I felt like in the first half, even though they were scoring, I felt like their drives were long. It was hard. They had several fourth downs they had to convert. And then it felt like in the fourth quarter, they was just like, it was easy. And again, maybe that's just me being cynical, but I don't see a fix for this defense. I mean, I do think Baylor's probably one of the better offenses we'll face this year. I mean, then again, we have TCU, we have Miami, we have Clemson, so it's going to be tough.
They're definitely one of the top 4 for sure.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough though. It's frustrating, man. I'm really frustrated.
I just think we've had historic seasons for SMU for the last 40 years. The last 2-3 years, every year under Coach Lashley has been basically a historic season. Each one better than the last. And so I think I think he's earned enough of our trust to be like, hey, listen, let's cool the jets on panicking just yet.
Yep.
Coach has turned things like last year at BYU, we all thought, I mean, we're cooked. We have nothing. We have no way to fix our offense. We're terrible.
Yep.
And then we had a historic season again. And so I think it's just too early to hit the panic button. Thank God we have Missouri State next week to clean up a ton of stuff before we go and face TCU. And I think we have a chance to turn it around. It's an uphill battle. It's a big elephant to eat. But if we just take it one bite at a time, and we have 2 weeks before a real opponent to do that.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think that we should be looking for next week when we're playing Missouri State that would signal that we've turned a corner?
Pressure without blitzing. I think that's exactly what we should. And against Missouri State, we should see our defensive line. I mean, we should see Jeffrey. We should see, just all of our guys across the board basically getting pressure on their quarterback without having to bring linebackers or safeties in the blitz packages, especially safeties and corners. We shouldn't have to blitz those guys. Those guys should have the ability to just stick with their guy on defense.
Yeah.
That's my first take.
I don't want to see any turnovers from the quarterback. I don't want to see him floating back. I think that's, again, like I said, that's a bad habit that I think we're seeing again. I don't think the loss was on him. I'm just saying there's some things that I'm seeing that we saw last year, and it just makes you a little bit concerned about going forward. And there were also a couple of deep balls that he missed on. I'm a little bit worried about that. I think the running game was a positive from today. I think the running game looked horrible last week. It looked a lot better this week. Then again,
I think because we focused on a running back. I think we kind of gave the keys to TJ.
Yeah, but I think also a caveat to that is Baylor gave up 300 yards to Auburn last week. So
also true.
And I do think they're a good team, so it explains some of the things. Like I do think it was kind of a 50-50 game. But the problem is we're going to have a lot more of those and a lot more that are not 50-50. And so technically everything is still there for us, but I'm definitely worried. I definitely feel stupid for picking 11-1. But this is what happens when I'm positive. See, I need to be more negative. So,
well, I had to say 8-4, and I think this puts us right on that track.
Probably.
I think Mustang fans should be okay with an 8-4 season. It's
I think for this year, yeah.
It's a harder schedule.
50% turnover is just a lot to expect. A really big win.
And the schedule's a lot harder.
Yeah,
for sure.
I definitely wouldn't say that we're rebuilding, but we're transitioning from a recruiting for a group of 5 versus a Power 5, or Power 4.
Look at our recruiting classes.
Yeah.
Every year, just way better than the year before.
And look at the freshman wide receivers who are stepping up. So I would definitely say that even if we don't have the results in the playoffs in the ACC championship game that we had last year, don't think that we're not fighting for something. Once again, I've said it on the podcast and I stand by it. We're going to the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and
let's just keep building.
Yeah,
I think we're a top 3 ACC team, and I think should be our goal. Every year, our minimum threshold should be a top 3, and you can't. Honestly, football's a crazy season. For every team, it's going to be a crazy season unless you're Bam under Saban, which is no longer a thing.
Yeah,
you can't really expect always being at the top. But top 3 should be our. I mean, we should be a top 3 team every year.
And us going 6-2 or 7-1 or we haven't played any ACC games yet. We can go 8-0.
Yeah, we could
in the ACC. Ultimately, that's what really matters.
But
we'll see. But
doesn't feel likely though. Not like last year.
It doesn't.
I still think that we have a 6-2, 7-1 in our future, in the ACC.
That probably does put us like fourth or fifth. I don't think we're a top 3 team this year in the ACC. I think it's a lot better.
I think we'll be right there. I think Clemson, Miami, or Georgia Tech will be right there, and then we'll be and Florida State as well.
I don't know.
We'll be
I like
right
them
there
all better than us right now, but
top of the
No, we're definitely still top 5, and we just need to get our feet underneath us.
Yeah.
We'll beat Louisville. We got to beat Miami or Clemson, and then we're guaranteed top 3.
Yeah.
If we do that, we're going to be top 3.
Yep.
Our future's still ahead of us. I'm not panicking yet, guys.
If we win the rest of our games, we'll be national champions.
That is true. If we win the rest of our games.
So don't put your heads down too far.
I'll say one more thing. I think in this kind of game, I think what you saw at the end, I think the biggest problem was that we just don't have enough depth on defense. I think they started to get some push in the run game. I think you saw that we're a bit thin. I think at every position, especially with the linebacker injuries. Obviously, Alexander Kilgore did not play today. He could play next week. Probably shouldn't. I guess he'll probably be back for TCU to be my guess.
And Jordan Hudson was out.
But, I think we were okay on offense, but then I think Zakai Barker, who's our other starting linebacker, he didn't play very much. I don't think he was healthy. And so when you're coming to your backup linebackers against a team that is a really good offense, I mean, let's be real. I think it was probably a tough ask, probably being a little unrealistic to ask them to do what I hoped they would have done. I still think, again, we should have won. So I guess maybe to Yannick's point, we had some big injuries and we still right there kind of blew it. So maybe we're better than I think. It's hard to feel positive after a loss for me. So I just want to go home and cry until
Well, we'll let you do that. We don't want to beat a dead horse. Pun intended there. Mustangs play Missouri State next week.
Yep.
A lot to play for still left this season.
And a good opportunity to clean up a lot.
And a good opportunity, yep. And so it's not over. We may be a little sad right now.
A lot sad.
Definitely feeling down, but it's okay.
Angry.
We're going to be okay.
So what's the Mustang mood right now? For me, the Mustang mood is anger, despair, disbelief, frustration.
Yeah, I would say disappointed, but maybe not completely surprised. Definitely, I mean, I wish we would have finished. But
I wanted to punch a wall when we were walking out. I didn't, of course, but I was pretty mad.
Just like in life, we don't know what God has in store for us, and things don't go always as planned.
Come on.
Coach Lashley, things didn't go as planned, but we trust Coach Lashley. He has performed and delivered for us for year after year. I mean, let's see what Coach Lashley can do.
Yeah, I think we got all the right men in the right spot. So let's see for the rest of the season how we do.
Let's have faith.
Yeah, and when life gives us lemons, Jesus makes lemonade.
Yeah.
Forrest Frank. All right.
There you go.
Maybe let's not have too much faith in the Ponies football team.
Yes.
More in the Lord Almighty. But,
yes. Amen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's move on and get a win next week in Missouri.
There we go.
Thank you for listening to the Mustang Mood. Go to mustangmood.com, buy some merch.
Yes.
Instagram. We're super active on Twitter now.
Yep.
So give us a follow there.
Twitter.
All right. Pony up.